Welcome to Live with Heather Vickery. I'm your host, Heather Vickery, and I am so excited to be sharing just a little bit of my day with you and my week with you. For those of you who are new, welcome. I am a transformation coach, and I help people go from pressure-filled lives to pleasurable ones with ease so that you can be successful with ease, so that you can feel like you're holding more but carrying less. I do this in a way to help people lead from a foundation of inner peace and joy. Because I know for sure that when we swap things out, when we start with joy as a foundation, it shifts the way we interact with the world. It changes everything. And joy truly does change lives. So, this is a leadership tactic, folks. This is big, cool stuff. We are shifting the way we show up in the world. We're shifting how we want to show up in the world. We're shifting how people are engaging with us and interacting with us. So I'm really glad that you're here for a little bit of this with me today. And today's topic is actually something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm talking about how subliminal work and hypnosis work can truly be a game-changing approach to creativity, to leadership, to inner peace, to more joy, to just feeling more calm in your world, for being more empowered. Empowerment is inside work. And I don't think that people realize that enough. A lot of folks, I will hear people say, "Oh, I empower people to X, Y, and Z." And I really call bullshit on all of that because we can't empower someone. I can hope to guide, lead, inspire, motivate, coach, support, all of those things. But the empowerment comes from you showing up for yourself and choosing yourself and taking the time. And I see Andy here, Andrea. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining us today. And this is a great example because over the weekend, I joined one of Andy's workshops. It was a somatic writing workshop that was quite frankly very out of my comfort zone. I am into somatics and I am a writer, but I hadn't done those things together. And I haven't done a lot of writing for myself and not my business in a really long time. And it was a lovely experience, but I had big emotions. At the end of it, I wrote 2 poems and I haven't written poetry since I was a teenager. And I kind of felt very teary and emotional about it all day, but in a good way, right? So we have to find ways to show up for ourselves that are somewhat unexpected. And last week, when I wrote the article that comes with this live show, so for those of you who don't know that, I do an email every Monday. If you're not on my newsletter list and you want to be, feel free to join. You can find the link in my bio. Um, and that has the link to a weekly blog post article that I write. And that's the topic of the live show. And I don't really do these weeks and weeks in advance because I really want it to come off the cuff. I want it to feel like what's showing up for me in my heart, mind, soul, body, because I know that if that's happening for me, then it's relevant for other people and it's potentially relevant for you. And I let them know as soon as I have decided on what that topic's going to be, I schedule the live show. And therefore, some of you are here because you're into this topic and this topic works for you. So last week, I kind of felt myself hit a little bit of an emotional wall. And when that happens in the middle of the day and I still have work to do, see, if I own my own business, I am a projector in human design, and I allow myself to stop working whenever I want to, as long as I don't have people counting on me. So if I don't have clients on the books or whatever, I will renegotiate my responsibilities, my schedule, and take some time off. But last week, I did have clients all afternoon, and I just needed a little bit of a break. So I decided to do a self-guided hypnosis that I think was only about 12 minutes long. Um, Usually when I do hypnosis, they're more about 30 minutes, but this was just a really short one, and I just needed a minute. And it was such a powerful experience. It wasn't a new hypnosis for me, but the way that it resonated for me and what it brought up for me was something that I felt really called to share with everyone. And hypnosis is such an interesting thing. So when I got certified in NLP, I was like, I don't know about this hypnosis thing. Like I was super excited about time techniques and EFT tapping and other kinds of subconscious reprogramming, but I was a little on the fence with hypnosis. And now I really, really love it because it is this beautiful, deep, restorative space that allows you to shift and change without necessarily having to remember past challenges or difficulties or traumas without having to fully immerse yourself into things. And a lot of times the subconscious will plant things or open you up to things that you don't even recognize until hours, days, weeks later. So it's really cool. But I find that if I can go into that deep state of hypnosis, even for 12, 15, 20 minutes, I feel like I've taken like a 10-hour nap. I feel so regenerated. And it's such a fun experience. Raise your hand. Have you ever done hypnosis? Um, did you like it? What did you think of it? And I want to know because for me, I think it's such an interesting experience. You get counted down, right? You go on a little bit of a journey, different places, different things. Like when I guide hypnosis, when I lead hypnosis, sometimes we're in a beautiful tropical forest at dusk. Sometimes we're in an outer space. Sometimes we're in a garden. Like we can be in all kinds of different places, right? And you just start to relax and you breathe and you relax different parts of your body, and then you get counted down into deep, deep hypnosis. And I do this work with clients all the time, so I know what's happening, but I can tell I have a bit of a internal visual tell that my body has fully gone into that meditative state. For me, and everybody's is different, for me, I start to see swirly, like it's a black background, and I see a swirly gold, like almost like like watery glitter. And it kind of moves like this. And when I start to see that image, I know that my body is fully relaxing and going into a deep meditative hypnosis space. And when you're in this space, you're very aware of what's happening, and yet you're not at all. You might not feel your hands and feet, but you do logically know that if you needed to get up, you could. Um, your subconscious is really doing all of the heavy lifting in this deep hypnosis space. And as you're coming out, right, you go deep in, and then you have whatever the hypnosis topic is, right? Whatever you're patterning on and shifting and changing on a neurological level. And then you start to come out of it. And you're very aware. My body, for me, I'm very aware. It's like, okay, take a deep breath, stretch out your toes and your fingers, and you're feeling all of that. But yet you feel again like you're a million miles away. And then all of a sudden, the end of the countdown, and it's like eyes wide open, and you're like, open, they're open. And I feel rejuvenated and rested and refreshed. And it's such a powerful reminder that just a few minutes connected with your body and connecting your subconscious and your soul and your body together is such a powerful way to honor yourself, to give yourself a gift, to shift out of one state of being and into another state of being. Because whatever your subconscious wants your conscious mind to know will show up more readily after you've done something like hypnosis. And the truth is that, you know, 95% of your behavior is run by your subconscious or your unconscious mind. Your conscious mind is only 5% of the show, which is why anytime I work one on one with clients, we dig in on getting to know what the motivation is behind your thoughts, choices, actions, and behaviors, especially the ones that you want to shift, that you aren't particularly in love with. What's behind that? What's the foundation of that? Then we can go in and either whether hypnosis or time techniques or EFT tapping, or I have a whole list of um, NLP tools that we can use. We can reprogram that. All of that to say, this all falls into the category of the ease pathway, which is how I support folks to go from a pressure filled life to a pleasurable one with ease, the ease pathway, because I know that it doesn't have to be hard all the time. Now, I'm not saying that we won't experience difficult things, that we won't feel negative things, that we won't have challenges, because of course we will. Those things are going to happen. And lots of things can be true at once. right? You can be struggling. You can feel awful about the state of the world, especially the state of the nation, because it is awful. I understand. I feel awful too. And I still seek joy. And I still know that the only thing I can control is myself, my own thoughts, choices, actions, and behaviors. I call that taking radical responsibility for yourself. And that's what I work with clients on day in and day out. And what I love about this is when you focus on that, everything does become easier. You start to create an energetic vortex, a reservoir, both. It's a vortex and a reservoir, right? Of bringing that ease into your life and that joy into your life and creating space for things that you more desire. It doesn't mean that the negative isn't there and that we want to pretend or hide from it, because we don't want to do that, but also we want to work with it. What can you change or control? Is there an action you can take? If there's not, well, and let's go back. Is there an action you can take? And if there is it something you actually want to do? And if you do, then do that thing. Beyond that, maybe you need to change, let it go, surrender, change the way you think about it, look at it from a different perspective, right? Be willing to sort of flow with it. Earlier this week, I described it as being like a skyscraper. They look big and tall and strong, and they are. And I am not an architect, but skyscrapers are built to move with the wind. They have to flow with the wind, or they're going to get knocked over by the powerful forces. And that's kind of how we have to be in our lives. We have to be willing to ebb and flow and be flexible and shift and change so that we don't get knocked over by all the bullshit that's happening around us. So there are a couple of ways that I just love supporting people because they feel like lower hanging fruit. They feel easier to say yes to invite in. And one of those is subliminal audios. I am a massive fan of subliminal audios because this is the easiest way to do some subconscious reprogramming without having to put a lot of effort forth. You get to play it in the background while you're living your life, while you're working, while you're sleeping, doing your laundry, making dinner. I listen even when I'm reading books. I love it. And I actually have an entire catalog of human design focused subliminal audios, which I particularly love because you can decide, like, where do I feel unresourced today? Where do I feel like I'm challenged or stressed or nervous? You can ask yourself these questions and then tie that into an element of your human design chart. If you have the human design subliminals, you can just pick that one and listen to it for the day. And what I hear from people and what I have experienced myself is that you just feel a little more calm, a little more capable, a little more confident. All of a sudden, things that felt difficult feel a little bit easier to do in that moment. If you're curious about the human design subliminal autos, you can find the link in my bio. If you don't know what the fuck human design is, let's change that, my darlings. Go to my website, pull your own free human design chart. And if you want to know more, you can either book a reading with me or you can just go down the rabbit hole. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. But when you're working with me on a human design reading, it's custom and it is designed to support you. And then there's feedback and questions and coaching and support. What does Andy have to say here? Working on myself saved my marriage when I thought it would end because I was being selfish. Oh, so true that focusing on yourself can really move big things. And she listens to, or they listen to subliminal audios when you're sleeping sometimes. Yeah, I love that. Subliminals are fun. I also have a whole slew of them in on my shop, on my website for like having a foundation of joy, creating inner peace amongst chaos, even some for like being stressed about selling because I don't love selling and marketing. That's not in my wheelhouse. So there are, I think, 5 different ones that you can choose from my website if you like that. Yes, so self care is not selfish. Andy, thank you for saying that. Andrea, for those of you who are watching, Andrea on Substack, but I know you go by Andy. And it is very much the oxygen mask effect, right? You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of somebody else. You have to be resourced before you can be a resource. You have to be resourced before you can be a resource. You have to fill your own cup. You have to know what joy is and what peace and ease feel like so that you can seek more of it, so that you can model that behavior for the people you care about, and so that you can be that foundation for them. One of the best ways to show love to other people is by caring for yourself without limits, without barriers, by loving yourself fiercely. It's so, so important. So subliminals is one of my tricks for that. And then one of my other ones is, of course, hypnosis. This is a more deep dive. It's a more dedicated kind of appointment with your subconscious, with your soul, giving yourself very specific time. In the article that I posted on my website, and I'm trying to decide if I should be posting these articles every week on Substack or not. So if you're here on Substack, do you guys want an article about this, or do you just want a live show conversation about it? I feel like maybe I'm posting too much on Substack. Is that even really a thing? Like, maybe I'm flooding it too much. So I'm playing around with that. But I love this particular blog post that I wrote because it really breaks down what these different things are and how you use them, and how they can support you and how much time they really take. But subliminals are great because they don't take extra time. You can do them while you're doing other things, not when you're driving. Don't ever, ever listen to a subliminal while you're driving. Don't do that. You can't do hypnosis while you're driving. I mean, I think you should know that by now. And hypnosis can take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Now, I also have the Glimmer Lab, which I love. And let me tell you guys the story about where that came to exist. So when I came back from my retreat in Costa Rica, I started spending a lot of time thinking about what felt like a disconnect in my business. My retreat in Costa Rica was amazing. The 14 people who joined me were delighted. The responses have been fantastic. I'm excited to plan another one, but it was such an exhausting process that I'm taking a breath first, but there will be more retreats. And I decided in January, when I got back from Costa Rica, that I was only going to say yes to things within my business that felt exciting. I already do that really for the most part in my life. I mean, yes, there are things that I have to do, but I seek ways to make them more joyful and exciting as I do them. One of the ways I'm doing that right now is listening to Harry Styles' Aperture on repeat, or listening to an audiobook or subliminal audio. I'm seeking ways to partner excitement and joy with what has to be done so that it feels more expansive as I'm doing it. And then I realized that one of the things that was sucking the excitement out of my business was all of these polished required things for being successful, making it look really pretty, a big fancy sales page, all of these marketing launch techniques, blah, blah, blah. All of that immediately just sucks all of the excitement out of it. I don't want to do that. I love my work and I love talking about my work and I love having conversations with people about my work, but I don't like the rest of it. So I decided that I was going to create a container that felt simplified and exciting to me, which I do think then translates to feeling simplified and exciting, hopefully for you or anybody who wants to join. So I created the Glimmer Lab, which is a once a month community. It's a sanctuary for creating sustainable inner peace and expansive joy. What do we do in the Glimmer Lab? Well, the Glimmer Lab is 60 to 75 minutes. It kind of depends on how many people show up, with a somatic drop in, some reflective journaling, just to kind of clear the space and open up your subconscious mind to receiving information. And then I take you through a guided hypnosis and then a really short reflection after that. And I love it. I love it. I put it out there. All I did for the Glimmer Lab, because this made this feel so exciting and easy to me, was I created a buy it page through my calendar. I use Calendar PA for anybody who's looking. Let me know. I can send you a link. My podcast co-host, Alan, created it and it's really great. There's a booking page. And then I do have a Google Doc with information on what the lab is, what hypnosis is, what it isn't. I didn't do the big sales page thing. I didn't want to. And I decided I didn't have to. And of course, I'm already selling it. So it's really exciting. So the third Wednesday of every month is the Glimmer Lab. And I created this as a space for people to prioritize some time for themselves, to make it easy, to make it fun, to put into your regular schedule a little bit of time for your inner peace and sustainable joy. And it doesn't have to be hard. It just gets to be relaxing. It just gets to be fun. And it's a date for you to have with yourself, a very romantic date for you to have with yourself, to nurture yourself and support yourself and recalibrate, realign, reclaim, because we give all the time. We're pouring out all the time, especially like I'm thinking about you, Andy, and people who are in the service industry and who coach and support. We are giving of our own energy all the time. I know I am. And if we aren't intentional and conscious about creating our own containers for inner peace and joy and time for ourselves to rest and recalibrate, it just disappears, right? And we're just getting sucked dry over and over. So this is a regular date to have with yourself, to nurture yourself, to sit with yourself, to give yourself some extra space, to breathe a little bit easier and deeper, all that fun stuff. So that's, a great example of how I am creating excitement in my work and getting rid of all of the noise, all of the bullshit that I don't want. Now, in this space that we have together, I want to give you guys some really short, quick, easy ways that you can show up for yourself in like 60 seconds, that you can start communicating with your subconscious mind. If you're feeling pressured by a to-do list or a decision or something, here are 4 little things that you can do that will support you. So you can write this down. You can go to my blog. Maybe I'll put this on Substack. If you guys want it, let me know. Here's the first one. Close your eyes. Take a big deep breath in and feel where in your body that pressure is located. Is it in your chest, your stomach, your lower back, your knees? Where is it? And then once you've located that location, just breathe into it. Breathe into it as much as you can. And just fill it with love and fill it with kindness. Breathing into that part of your body that's holding this pressure or this strain, and fill it with love. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, and just ask that part of you what you need to know and see what shows up. And trust that you have everything you need to solve this equation, that you don't have to stay in this place, that you can shift out of it. And your body and your subconscious mind already knows how to support you in the best way possible. Just sit with it and see what happens, right? And breathe, breathe, breathe. And then when you feel ready, you take one big deep inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, I want you to almost exhale like a dog does before they're going to sleep for the night. I want you to go, "Ugh," and just release it kind of aggressively. Just let it out. Have you noticed, do you have dogs? Have you noticed that they do that? That big, deep, heavy sigh? That is, and actually I already knew this, but Andy taught this in the workshop this weekend with the writing workshop that I talked about earlier. It's like completing your stress relief cycle. You've got to get it out of your body. And then after you've done that, just be aware. Notice if things feel a little bit more calm. Do they feel brighter? Does the weight on your chest feel shifted even a little, even 1 or 2%, tiny bit better? All of that. Like what can really serve you in that moment? Um, it is a great exercise. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's fun. Um, all of this is about you choosing to show up for yourself and be with yourself and be integrated with yourself and don't bullshit yourself. And you can hold yourself to high standards. That's fine. But you also have to be realistic about what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable and what can be done and what can't be done. But most importantly, I am here to tell you self-compassion work is powerful, powerful work. If you don't know Kristen Neff, she is the world's leading scientist who has studied self-compassion, and self-compassion is powerful. You are a human being who is going to experience life as a human being. Make sure that you are treating yourself as kindly as you treat other people you care about. Whatever it is that you believe exists. Whatever it is that you speak out loud exists. And if you are saying hurtful, nasty things to yourself, those things become true to you and they become true to the people around you. But you can also do the reverse. You can be kind and tender to yourself. And I'll give a really kind of painful, hard example. I'm 51. I'm in perimenopause. I, oh, right? God, she is so great. Kristen Neff, she is so great. I've had 4 babies, and my body has shifted and changed in the last probably 6 years in ways that feel confusing and challenging, and it's difficult for me to find peace with my body, and I know that, and I'm honest about that, and then I will say, this body is I'm so grateful, right? I think about Eric Dane, who just passed away from ALS, who lost all capacity for his body, right? I think about, people who can't walk or move their arms. I've had frozen shoulder in both arms in the last 10 years, and it's literally awful. You don't realize how much you use your arms until you can't use your arms, right? And my body brought 4 humans into this world, and my body might not look like the patriarchal supermodel standard of expectations, but it is fucking brilliant, and it is strong, and it is capable, and I am grateful to it, right? And the more you flood what you want, the goodness and the joy and the foundation of that you want into your life, the better off your life will be. You have all the power. You have so much more power than you think you do. And it is mindset, but mindset only takes you so far. This is why I love the NLP work, right? If mindset alone could get you everywhere you wanted to go, you would already be there by now. So it has to start with mindset, and then you have to shift it. You have to embody it. That's where somatic work comes in, and subconscious work, hypnosis, subliminals, EFT tapping. We're about to do EFT tapping, all of that. That takes your intention and your desire with your mindset, with that shift, and it solidifies it and it puts it into your body and it programs it on to your brain, which is really cool. It takes thoughtful, intentional action. And nobody can do this for you. You have to pick it. Like I can guide you through it, but you have to say yes. You have to choose it. You have to want it. And you have to say, I want this. And I'm going to find the resources to support myself in this work, whatever that looks like. It's reading a book, listening to a podcast, working with a coach, working with me, watching a Substack Live, reading an article, whatever it's going to be, going to a workshop. You have to choose that. And it has to be important enough for you to prioritize that time for yourself. So I've talked a lot about EFT. I don't know how many of you know it, but EFT tapping is emotional freedom technique, and it is tapping on all of the different meridian points and releasing that which you don't want anymore and calling in and patterning on those things that you do want instead. So we are going to do an EFT tapping right now about being ready to show up for ourselves and being unpressured, allowing ourselves to live life unpressured and seeing what shows up when we do that. Before I start that, I always have folks do a little stretch, right? Um, yeah, Andy, isn't it great? Yeah. So, like roll your neck a little bit, or just take a second and just connect with your body. And when you're doing EFT tapping, I really recommend that you have your feet firmly planted on the ground. It does help you like literally electrically ground yourself, even if you're in a building. Put your feet on the ground and then take a big deep breath in through your nose and out with a sigh. And put your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your left and repeat after me, either out loud or in your mind. Thank you. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. And then we start by tapping on the karate chop point. You can do either one, whichever one you like. And this is where we release the kind of the negative, the icky, the things that we don't always want. So again, with tapping, you just repeat after me, either out loud or in your mind. Even though it often feels like I'm being asked to do too much, I know what my own limits and boundaries are. I allow myself to rest so that I can be ready for expansive joy and pleasure and peace. It's safe for me to move through my day with ease. I'm moving to the inner eyebrow. Sometimes it feels so good to be still and quiet. I don't have to be going all the time. I release the pressure held in my body. Moving to the outer eyebrow. Rest is for me. Rest supports me and the people around me. The shift is already happening. I allow myself to be successful with ease. Under the eye, I allow my mind to show me evidence that the universe is always taking care of my needs. Everything I desire desires me. The outcomes adjust as abundance flows because everything is always working out for me. Ooh, sorry. Under the mouth, I am empowered to take intentional action in my life. I trust that alignment is worth the effort. I am safe to be still or move. I am safe to trust myself and the process. It is safe. Oh, I forgot this one. You guys, I got distracted because I hit my microphone. We'll just go back. It's safe to trust that I know what's best for myself. All right, let's go back up. Sorry. It is safe for me to be successful with ease. I release any notion that I'm required to be uncomfortable to be successful. I am resourced and I am ready. Collarbone. I embody ease. I am powerful. I am peaceful. I am fully resourced. I am ready whenever I'm ready, and I rest whenever I need to rest. My readiness comes from my alignment. Under the arm, success flows to me and through me with ease, always. I allow my intuition to lead me. I don't have to know what's happening or how it's happening to trust myself. The next right step will always show up for me. Top of the head, I am fully present. I am fully awake in my life. I move through my day with a clear head and a regulated body. I am ready and I am at ease. You can gently stop tapping. It was kind of a fun, even though we flopped those, that's okay. It's all right. We have an order because it's easy to have an order. And some people, when they do EFT tapping, they start on the head or they don't do the karate chop. So forgive me for getting out of order there. But also, sometimes you got to say, fuck it and try it a different way and see what happens. You never know. The universe is always looking out for me. Things show up the way that they are supposed to for one reason or another. I know that to be true. One fun fact for folks who are paid subscribers of Radical Ease, which is my Substack publication, we are now going to do monthly private EFT tapping sessions as a gift to you guys. So they'll be a little bit longer than that. They'll be about 15, 20 minutes. Um, that's my gift to you. And I also am changing something within my Substack. If you want to watch the replays of my live shows, that's now only going to be available to paid subscribers. And the reason for that is I am shifting away from feeling like I'm required to give myself away completely in order to be valuable and recognizing that my work and my worth are worth being paid, and my family needs this resource. So I give a lot away here on Substack and on LinkedIn and on YouTube, where you guys are all watching me live. And I love to do that, and I won't stop doing that. But if you want further access or you want to have more connection with me, um, then we're adding those things to the paid subscriber on Substack. Um, I would love to have you guys join for the Glimmer Lab. Again, it's a really beautiful 60 to 75 minutes just for you. You can find a link for that in my bio. But I'm here almost every Thursday and I do this live show and I give and give and give. If you have questions and you want to engage, please do that. Also on Tuesdays, I do Ask Me Anything office hours. Those are completely free. You can find the link to register in my bio. You register just so that you can get the private link because I don't want that out on the internet. Again, it's a free space. Come in, connect, ask any questions that you want. And yeah, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for showing up for yourself, for showing up for me, for making time for yourself. I'm so curious to know what touched you with this, what moved you, what inspired you. Please let me know. You can hit me up in the DMs. You can drop a comment, whatever feels good. My name is Heather Vickery. And I want to remind you today and every day to go out and choose yourself bravely because you are so fucking worth it. I see you. I honor you. I celebrate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Okay. Okay, Substack. I'm gonna give myself hearts now. It's my favorite part of finishing a live is like, and I'm gonna go in and give myself so many hearts on Substack because self-love is powerful. And my friend Margaret is here. I haven't seen you in a minute, Margaret. How are you, my dear? Good to see you. Okay, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you in notes. I'll see you around. See you in the DMs, and I'll be back next Thursday for another episode of Live with Heather Vickery. Take care. Bye.